up, you guys? Welcome back. I'm going to take you back to 2006, and we're going to talk about the one that got away. To sum it up, I buried one of my good friends on February 6th of 2006. And I was dating this girl. Her name is Stephanie, and dated her for about 7 or 8 months. And I can honestly say she was the one that got away. She was that true love, right? The one that I occasionally think of. Because what I was doing at that time of my life, it wasn't me, but that's just who I was at the time. I was messing around with pills that started like 2000, like a year prior, and 2005, and but I wasn't fully addicted to them yet. But I was drinking a lot for some reason. That's just what I was doing, socially. I wasn't drinking every day, but when I did drink, I drank. Like, I was never the type to go out to a restaurant. I used to love going out, having a burger, eating some wings, and just drinking some beer. Usually people could have one to three beers and they're cool, That's their night. I was always the type to go to dinner, go home, either pick up some more beer and then go home, pick up the phone, make some calls, find out if there's a party, call some girls, and, just keep the night going, generally with some harder drugs. But I didn't do that when I was with this girl. I didn't do that with Stephanie. I never did that. There was a time she went to Las Vegas with some friends. She wanted me to go, but I couldn't because I had to work. I was a manager at a hotel, and I couldn't get away from my job at the time. So she asked me out of respect if she could go. I was like, of course, why not? I met the majority of friends that she was going with, but if a girl's gonna cheat, if a guy's gonna cheat, they're gonna do what they do, right? I trusted her. I loved her a lot, and I always told my girlfriends, like, don't do anything that you wouldn't want me doing. And that's just how I was. That's how I do it. So yeah, that was cool. Whatever. That's not what this is about. So I buried my friend 2007. Her and I were going through a rough patch at the time because he passed away on the 1st of February, and then we buried him like a week later. Pretty sure that's how the time frame went, but I know it was quick. He passed away, and then he was buried like a week later. So the night he passed away on the 1st, he OD'd from opiates. So at the time, the day he passed, my phone was blowing up. I was still living with my parents at the time. Stephanie was at my house. We're just chilling in bed talking. My phone was blowing up. I didn't answer it. It ended up being my friend's cousin, which was my best friend at the time. Anyway, he informed me my buddy passed, and first thing I did after I got off the phone with him, I went to go pick up some liquor. The only time I drank liquor was at the bars, but picked up some liquor, and then we came back to my house. I just drank. I never acted a fool on alcohol. I was never disrespectful. I was always the same, chill dude, you know? On everything I did, I was chill. Sometimes I would have more energy than others, it just depends what I was doing. But so, the first I drank, the second drank, bam, 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 all the way up until the day we buried him. She didn't go with me to the funeral. It was just family and friends. We did that. Um, After the funeral and like the family gathering, my best friend Pablo, his name is Pablo. We went to the driving range, hit some golf balls, and I really didn't know. I didn't understand. Maybe I couldn't sense it or just pick up on it, but Stephanie, within that week, Stephanie was really worried about me. So, Pablo and I are at the driving range. I get a phone call. She's like, "Look, we need to talk." It's like, "What?" I was like, I was thinking to myself, I told her I'd call her after I'm done. That way we could hang out. But, I pick up the phone. She says, "We need to talk." I was like, "All right, I'll call you. I'll call you as soon as we're done here." So we finish up, and I meet her on the east side of town. And as soon as I pull up, she gets in my car. She sits down and we start talking. She said, I really don't remember verbatim, but she said she knows what I'm going through, and she is not trying to go through this again. I was like, "What are you talking about?" So she, I knew her father passed away from alcoholism, but I didn't take that into consideration at the time. So I'm sure inside she was freaking out, and ultimately she breaks up with me on the day we buried my friend. He was a really good friend of mine, damn near best friend. We hung out all the time. As soon as I found out, and as soon as my buddy found out that we both were into opiates, we started hanging out more. We do our thing. So we were really close. But she breaks up with me the day we buried my friend. So obviously throughout that time, I drank more and more and more. But there were so many things I could have done different. And I really wish at that time, the selfish part of me really wishes that she spoke up about that so I could get myself in check. But now that, I've experienced so much since then, I know that's not her job. I was 26 at the time. And that wasn't her job. It was my job. It was my responsibility to get my mental in check. Just because I was acting like a kid, just because I was medicating, self-meditating too, just because I was drinking in excess, popping pills, just because I was acting like a kid and not taking care of myself, I lose the one I love. I can honestly say she's definitely the one that got away. I know most men have that one, that got away. Since that point, my addiction, my recklessness, my carelessness escalated. I'd say about 8 or 9 years later down the road, I ended up going to treatment. Well, I went to jail and prison, and then sometime after that, I went to my first rehab. Got out, and I was staying at a sober living, and my roommate at the time, we had relapsed on alcohol, and we went to a Buffalo Wild Wings to have some beer and then go back to the sober living. That's how we were doing it. But we go to this Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm just chilling at the bar, talking to my boy, and I'm just browsing the restaurant, right, the bar, and I see this server, this waitress, the server, and it was Stephanie. And at that time, I was feeling good. I was feeling good about life. I was in shape. But I was drinking. And throughout that time at the bar, we made eye contact, a few times. I was talking to my boy, like, dude, that's her. He's like, who? I was like, the one that got away. We were just laughing and stuff like that. But she came up to me. She's like, damn, wow, how you been? It's been a while. She's like, you look good. I was like, yeah. But like inside, I was my heart was crying, But yeah, that's a crappy part of my life. So I hope you guys can learn from this, man. Like, I don't have to say what the message is in this story. Hopefully you listen through the entire thing and learn something. I know I did. Thanks for listening.